Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. This is now about Jose Mourinho. I've been reading some reports in the media, and the reports are suggesting now that reportedly Jose Mourinho, obviously not, he signed 11 players, he spent £360 million, so far since he's come to Manchester United. We know he's missed out on a lot of potential targets, he would have liked to have. And it, according to the press, Jose Mourinho's chasing a strong central defender, and he also wants an attacker as well, does Jose Mourinho. So basically, as in the press, Jose Mourinho is going to be getting around £100 million spending spree, £100 million spending spree in the January transfer window. But we know Jose Mourinho's missed out on a lot of potential targets. He missed out on the likes of, he went for Rafael Varane. He's a strong centre back. With Real Madrid. Risen up the ranks with Lens. He's been at Real Madrid since 2011. He's made over 2 century appearances for Madrid. He's won 15 major honours with Real Madrid as Rafael Varane. Did very well in the 2018 World Cup, played every minute. Back in the 2014 FIFA World Cup as well, got nominated for the youngest player award due to his performances back in the 2014 World Cup as well. I think he'd be very, very good at Manchester United. We know Jose Mourinho, came. He purchased Bailey from Villarreal for 30 million. He purchased Lindelof from Benfica. But I think we need someone in that central defensive position, that will, I don't think Lindelof's really made an impact since he's come. I think he's slightly improved in some games. We know that obviously Eric Bailey's out of favour, talks coming out in the press, a couple of weeks ago that Arsenal and Tottenham, were interested in the likes of Eric Bailey because he's out of favour at Manchester United, as it said in the press as well. But yeah, Jose Mourinho Manchester United didn't get Rafael Varane. Manchester United were willing to pay quite a lot of money for him. Real Madrid currently, stood firm. Real Madrid were actually, reluctant to sanction offer Rafael Varane. So that was one of Jose Mourinho's potential targets. He also went for someone else called Boateng as well. So Jose Mourinho's basically reportedly going to get £100 million spending spree in January. We know Ed Woodward's going to back him on this situation. We know, especially at this moment in time, Ed Woodward and Jose Mourinho, don't get on at this moment in time. Especially, they don't have a good relationship. They've had disputes, Jose Mourinho and Ed Woodward, as we all know. But obviously, there were talks during the summer about, we could see players, leave in January as well. So Jose Mourinho have to find replacements for them as well. There were talks in summer that Martial could have left Manchester United. Martial, who's in absolutely fantastic form. Jose Mourinho's been praising him recently, especially, for his sublime, fantastic performances. He showed out on that flank, good genuine pace, fantastic passion, Anthony Martial. But we know during the course of some of that Tottenham, were interested in Antonio Martial. We know Tottenham have already spent £50 million since 2014, since Pochettino took over at Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham were interested in Martial. Martial, basically, I don't think they didn't want to leave Manchester United, or Manchester United were just reluctant to sell Antonio Martial. He's young, he's still got to grow and develop more, and he's absolutely fantastic now, and he will grow and develop and get better, as he's, growing up. He's Antonio Martial. I think, for me, he's like the new Eden Hazard, But, yeah, Antonio Martial, there had been discussions about this, between Manchester United and Tottenham. Ed Woodward had been in discussions and negotiations with Danny Lever, the Tottenham chairman, over Tottenham making a potential move for Antonio Martial. But I'm glad he stayed at Manchester United because I didn't want Antonio Martial to leave. He's very, very good on that left-hand side. He's Antonio Martial. But yeah, basically, it said in the press, Jose Mourinho is going to get £100 million spending spree to spend on some more players, to bolster the squad up more. We know he's purchased 11 players, but there's still problems at that Manchester United team that do need addressing. Yes, we do need a stronger, we do need a strong centre back. Bailey's very, very good. Lindelof's okay, but I think we need a strong centre back. Bailey's good. Lindelof for me hasn't really made an impact since he's come. And Rafael Varane would be the ideal central defender, but it depends, if Real Madrid are willing, to do any business with Manchester United. Of this, we know they were reluctant to sell him because Jose Mourinho went for the player, as we all know. Also, we know Jose Mourinho, well, went for the likes of. There's been talks in the press reportedly. It doesn't mean it's true. It might be just a narrative. It said in one of the media reports about, as I reminded you the other day, about Benzema. Benzema, Real Madrid, as we all know, he risen up the ranks with Leon. He's made 2-3 century appearances, since being at Real Madrid. Off, is it 4 century appearances, something like that? I can't remember. Benzema very tenacious, very, very good forward indeed. But I think we do, Jose Mourinho said, do need a goal scorer up front, because we know Romelu Lukaku hasn't scored in quite a while for Manchester United. Neither has Marcus Rashford. As we all aware of. I think Rashford's very, very good on that flank. Obviously, Jose Mourinho put him in the central position. Centre forward, he put him against Everton, because obviously Romelu Lukaku needed the rest. We know he came as a substitution. Romelu Lukaku did very, very well last season. Hasn't really done well this season. He's struggling to score goals. Rashford hasn't scored that many goals this season, especially, compared to likes of Anthony Martial. But the goals will come, and we do need another attacker, obviously, as a backup option, if all happens to Lukaku or the likes of Rashford and all Martial and that. I do think we need another attacker, to lead that line. And I think Benzema, if he was to come at United, it might be just a narrative, I think he'd lead the lines well up front with Lukaku, because he's proven it very, very well with Real Madrid. As Benzema, he's been at the club a decade. His current contract doesn't expire until 2001, does Benzema's. But his contract doesn't expire to 2001. But it's partly, it says, the player himself's been in discussions with Paris Saint-Germain and potentially, it won't be till next summer anyway, if this is true. He's been in discussions with Paris Saint-Germain and negotiations. Paris Saint-Germain may consider making a move for the player. But we know Paris Saint-Germain had invested a lot of money, on the likes of the purchase of Neymar a year or so ago, maybe just a bit longer, and the likes of, Mbappe. But yeah, it did say, Benzema may be interested in, he mentioned Manchester United in the press, interested in making a move to United or Paris Saint-Germain. I think he'd do very, very well at Manchester United as well. But Jose Mourinho, basically, as we all know, has admitted in the press, basically, Manchester United have to spend, more money, bolster squad more, if we are to compete in Europe. And this is what Jose Mourinho, explained. He's basically mentioned that, during the performance against Everton at the weekend, played very, I think majority of the game played very, very well. As I said, Everton had chances of their own. And, Pogba played very, very well. We saw different sides of him. I thought Fred, who one of Jose Mourinho's last summer signings, 40-50 million pound shots to Nesh, I thought he looked very, very energetic in the midfield. I thought he controlled the midfield, well. The combined well did Pogba, Fred and Matic in that midfield. Martial, man of the match, scoring, fantastic goal again in that game. Pogba getting a goal from the penalty. Well, it was a rebound, and also getting an assist for the Martial's second goal. But overall, I thought it was a good performance. Everton had their chances, as I said, in that game. But during Jose Mourinho's press conference in that game, Jose Mourinho had said basically he praised the likes of Martial's performance. He praised Pogba's, he praised Matic's performance, he praised Fred's performance, I think he praised Pogba's as well. But he did say, Jose Mourinho, we still haven't fully got that killer instinct yet. He says he's still not very, very satisfied about us attacking. He's still not very happy with his defending because his goal difference isn't very, very good this season. We have leaked a lot of goals, as we all know. But now, hopefully, after this Everton result, we can go on a winning streak, try and get a few wins together. We fought that after Newcastle, when we was 2-0 down. We came back to win 3-2. And, we should have won at Chelsea, We haven't got a bad record there, conceded in the 96th minute. As we all know, currently Manchester United now sitting 8th in the table. Currently sitting 8th in the table. We all know Mourinho. Do you think he can turn it around at Manchester United? We know this is his third season in the process. Can he turn things around at Manchester United? Because we know Ferguson, he, went 4 years without winning a trophy at Manchester United. He was on the verge. Well, he was one game away from getting the sack. And look, the success that he achieved at Manchester United, The treble in 1999, that was one of my best moments of being a Manchester United fan. Teddy Sheringham Solskjaer scoring in the last minute. 13 league titles. 5 FA Cups under Alex Ferguson. He achieved great success. Did Alex Ferguson. With basically Jose Mourinho, but he's got a fantastic pedigree, Premier League proven, won in, everywhere else he's been, he's won titles as well, won 3 titles with Chelsea, Stamford Bridge were thoughts when Jose Mourinho there especially. You could say a lot of the players aren't playing for Jose Mourinho. They show signs sometimes that they do play for him, but we know he's been under immense pressure, especially this season with the teams we've lost to, that Manchester United, shouldn't have lost to. A lot of fans are getting on his back to get him out. Some may say give him time. We know he's had disputes, especially now with the chairman, Ed Woodward, as Jose Mourinho. But reportedly he's going to be given a £100 million spree to spend. We know these players, especially like Jose Mourinho got in. We know when we had Louis van Gaal, because Louis van Gaal had a good pedigree with Bayern Munich. He was never proven in English football till he came manage Manchester United. We know he got the sack as well, Louis van Gaal. He let some players go as well. But this squad Jose Mourinho's got, the players that he's purchased, these players, want to win silverware. They'd be happy to stay. We want to be competing at the top, something we're not doing at the moment. But we know this is a total different team, to what Alex Ferguson had. Them players were winning trophies, trophy after trophy after trophy. Now since Ferguson's retirement in 2013, we are seeing that now, and that these players, as I said, like David De Gea, Jose Mourinho, as I said, he's not confident he will extend his current contract. If he does extend it, he will. Well, he's got an option. He's got an alternative to extend it till 2020. David De Gea, I think he's satisfied at Manchester United. He has been at the club since 2011 as He's been at the club since 2011 as David De Gea, as we all know. He's risen up the ranks with Atletico Bilbao. We know he's born in Spain. His relatives in Spain, girlfriend in Spain. So, we know Real Madrid have been big admirers of David De Gea, but we know Real Madrid did purchase Courtois from Chelsea, the ex-Chelsea goalkeeper, as we all know. It did say there were talks that Juventus were potentially interested in getting David De Gea as well. But I think he will stay at Manchester United. I think he'd be happy to stay at Manchester United, as long as we are competing at the top. And the majority of these players, especially with Jose Mourinho's brought into the team, some players that Van Gaal brought into the team, want to win, silverware, want to be competing at the top. And, this really hasn't happened. And, some of these players, they should show some passion, play for the badge, and there's times this season where Manchester United have shown they can play. They're dug in at Burnley away, comfortably, Watford away. There has been games this season, where we have played very, very well. Chelsea, we was very, very unlucky not to go away there with the 3 points. Didn't happen. But we have spent, like £1 billion all in all over the managerial race. It's over £1 billion. So you could say we are the richest club in the world, the second richest club in the world. Real Madrid are up there, Manchester City are up there as well, Barcelona are up there. But we have spent the most money, and the difference is, Manchester City winning again by 1-0. Manchester City have got an absolutely fantastic manager, Pep Guardiola. He's invested a lot of money into the Manchester City squad. £60 million signed for Riyad Mahrez, who scored the goal at Tottenham yesterday. I didn't watch it. But, Manchester City just are looking an absolute strong force now. They've won 3 Premier Leagues. Guardiola, won some with Mancini, the other 2 times with Pep Guardiola of Manchester City. He spent £1 billion in all his managerial career now as Pep Guardiola. He's reached that total amount. But he had a good pedigree, with Bayern Munich, he won honours, Barcelona, he won honours. He's brought records as well. Jose Mourinho's got a fantastic pedigree, like Pep Guardiola, but I think Jose Mourinho, in my opinion, is very, very arrogant in situations. To be fair to Jose Mourinho, he's admitted that Manchester United, as I keep saying, have to spend more, to compete up there, to compete with the likes of the European teams, and he's admitted this as Jose Mourinho. We know we're sitting 8th now in the league, as I currently have said, but we could. As I said, see a few players leave in the January window, but then Jose Mourinho will have to find replacements. But reportedly, Jose Mourinho is going to be getting £100 million spending spree in the January window, and he's disappointed, you know, especially, you know, since Jose Mourinho's come. You know, Manchester United they have got players in, but we have missed out on a lot of potential targets that we wanted. You know, it looks like a couple of years or so back, or whenever it was a long time ago. You know, we had number 7 vacant for ages. Obviously, we got that filled now with Alexis Sanchez coming into the club. Hasn't really made an impact. You know, he's currently receiving £500,000 a week. Is Alexis Sanchez at Old Trafford? You know, he did very, very well at Arsenal. He was on 31 goals a season. You know, for Arsenal was Alexis Sanchez. You know, he was there about 4 or 5 years before he came to United. You know, obviously Mkhitaryan was involved in the deal as well. But Sanchez he hasn't really made an impact since he's come to Old Trafford as Alexis Sanchez. Obviously, you know, he's very, very versatile. He's a number 7, you know. But I think Jose Mourinho would prefer actually to put Martial or Rashford above Alexis Sanchez. He'd rather play Martial and Rashford, you know, over Sanchez, because Sanchez has not made an impact at all since he's come to United. Martial, at the moment, especially, is in fantastic form. You know, I did very, very well when he was at Monaco as well, you know, and where he was at Lyon before Monaco, I think he was Martial. Rashford hasn't scored in a while, but he's still a fantastic young talented player, just like Martial. But for me, Jose Mourinho missed out on Griezmann. You know, it looked like he were going to come until Atletico Madrid got that transfer ban. You know, he went for Perisic. Inter Milan were demanding, you know, more money for the player. What Manchester United were reluctant to pay around £48 million for. We didn't get Perisic. You know, Jose Mourinho's gone for Varane. You know, Real Madrid were reluctant to sanction him off. You know, we're interested in Fabinho. Now he's at Liverpool. Who else did we miss out on? There were rumours about Harry Kane, but that was a definite fake narrative. That was a couple of years ago as well. I knew Tottenham were reluctant to sell him. You know, he's an absolutely fantastic, phenomenal player for Tottenham. Very, very good player indeed. Won the Golden Boot a couple of times as well. You know, went for him. It was a fake narrative anyway. It was just in the press. You know, so it's disappointing, Jose Mourinho. You know, there were talks about Danny Rose. You know, he was up the ranks for Leeds. He was a young Leeds lad, was Danny Rose. You know, there was talks, you know, a year or so back about Danny Rose and Luke Shaw being a potential swap deal. You know, it never happened because we know now Luke Shaw signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United. We know he's had disputes with Mourinho in the past as well. But yeah, Jose Mourinho's not happy. You know, he has got players in, but he's not happy because he got... You know, he's missed out on a lot of potential targets that could have dramatically, you know, improved Manchester United a lot. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens, obviously, you know, in the January transfer window. You know, with Paul Pogba and Mourinho have had the dispute. You know, there's been talks about him. Could he potentially make a return back to Juventus, Paul Pogba as well? You know, Manchester United did pay £89 million for him. But yeah, we just need to see some more penetration, some speed, some creativeness. We need to see it in, you know, the majority of the games we play under Jose Mourinho. We just need to see this happening. You know, Jose Mourinho is partly to blame in some games as well. You know, in the Juventus game, he was part of the blame because he praised like the likes Chiellini and the rest of the Juventus players. Jose Mourinho praised for that game. So that was his fault because he had no tactical game plan in that game. There was no plan B there. Jose Mourinho, you know, I think he could turn it around at Manchester United if he's given more time. We know he's under immense pressure at Manchester United, as I keep saying. But yeah, reportedly, yes, Jose Mourinho is going to get £100 million spending spree in the January transfer window. According to the press is not always true. But it will be interesting to see as well. Manchester United got Bournemouth on Saturday. I think it's 12:30 or it's Sunday 12:30. I will have a look as well. So yeah, anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. What do you think of this situation? Drop your comments, likes, below on the channel. Subscribe to my channel as always. Take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.